faithful Let's Talk About It members that jumped onto the stream tonight. I appreciate you as always. Whether you jump on while I'm doing the stream or whether you jump on after I jump on the stream, I appreciate you. We're going to give a few more minutes out of courtesy, consideration for those that are just a little late in getting on the stream. We're going to give them a couple more minutes. So if you need to grab your water, grab the things you need to grab before we start the stream. Now is your time to do so. Again, I appreciate you for getting on the stream. In just a second, folks. We'll be just starting in just a second. I'm not going to wait for everybody to get on the stream. I'm just going to wait for a few more to get on the stream. For those that want to get on after the stream, we build it as we fly it. Get on after the stream if you choose to. And again, I appreciate your time that you give when you get on after the stream. We all got things going on, I understand. A couple minutes when we'll get right into it. Shout out to Gail for jumping on the stream. I appreciate you. Two more minutes and we're going in. 10 after 8, we're going in. We're going to talk about it. shout out to Facebook. Shout out to all my loyal, my loyal members of Let's Talk About It. Shout out to you. Shout out to all my new members that have joined on to the group. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. And shout out to all of those of you who I have not called your name out. Like I always say, with every stream, charge it to my head, not to my heart, because I do mean to mention everyone. But I'm not always able to see who you are in the chat box because, again, like I've always said before, I don't pay attention much to the chat box because it serves as a distraction. I have a moderator who pays attention to that, and which frees me up to talk to you without distraction. So with that being said, again, charge it to my head and not to my heart. I do appreciate all of you that join onto the stream, whether you join onto the stream during the live or whether you join onto the stream after the live has already been finished or completed. I still appreciate you. I do. So let's get into it. What is tonight's topic? Getting level set, ladies, could get you the outcomes that you say you want. What is getting level set? That's the next question. What is getting level set? If you think about a contractor, he level sets what he's working on to ensure proper stability, all right? Proper balance. That simply means getting you on the same page or getting the work at hand congruent with what the task is at hand, right? Okay? It's bringing you up to speed so that you understand what's expected. What's expected? What is the job requiring based on the level set? Whether they have to make any adjustments. Because if the level is not correct, they have to make adjustments. But if the level is good, they know they can proceed with the work at hand, right? Ladies, are you level set? Or just set in your own ways? Like hard clay? Is that where you are? Let's talk about it. Okay. What is being level set? What does the stats, data, and statistics say as it relates to relationships? And any of you that are new to my channel or new to my group, you understand, you know what I talk about. What I talk about is based on relationships. It's based on expectations. It's based on what you expect as women and what you expect as ladies as it relates to relationships and marriage, more in particular. The most important aspect of the conversation being marriage. What is it that you expect? This is what I talk about. Now, for those of you that don't have a desire to be married, okay, well, maybe these talking points won't apply to you. But I will say this much. This is what this channel is focused at. Why? Because when we look out of our windows, what do we see? We see a whole lot of broken, fragmented relationships based on nothing, based on no real meaningful foundation. And as a result, what we see in the aftermath is a lot of upset, a lot of unhappy, a lot of angry, a lot of disgruntled women from our community who have not realized why they have met the outcomes that they have met. And more importantly, what they expected from these particular situations. What did they expect to happen? Did they believe that there was nothing that was required of them? Simply just to show up. And yeah, I'm going to tell you something. I've had these conversations so many times, and I'll tell you this. Unfortunately, women have been told that relationships didn't require any work. All they had to do was show up. And it wasn't important to find out what men want. Now, some of you may be sick and tired of hearing these kind of talking points. And for those of you that are sick and tired of hearing these talking points, you're going to meet the outcomes as a result of not wanting to hear the talking points, which relate to what men want. And I'm going as far as the men you say you want, which usually range within the 10, 15 and 10%, 5%, 2%, and 1% of money earners. Usually income earners that you yourself don't qualify for. I know that stings, but this is the thing that you're seeking. You're seeking men that are in these ranges. Why do you seek them? Do you want the man or do you want the lifestyle? We're going to talk about it tonight. Because if you're level set, it could get you the outcomes that you say you want, but you have to be level set. Meaning you have to be brought back to reality. You have to be smacked back to reality. Because what society has told you that you deserve may not necessarily be what exactly you deserve. You've heard me say in previous streams, we don't get what we deserve. We get what we earn. Not what we deserve, what we earn. So what you think you deserve, did you earn it? And if you think you've earned it, what did you do that justifies you believing that you did earn it? Men in these categories, I'm talking the 15, the 10, and 20% and above. What they want is fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, easy to get along with. Non-combative. They want women that are soft, that don't overtalk them. Using sign language. What is sign language? That means shame, insult, guilt, and the need, the insatiable need to be right. Do you fit the category of a woman that is kept? A kept woman does not have those characteristics. They don't lead with shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. I'm going to go into it tonight. They don't lead with these characteristics. They don't have this insatiable need to be right. And when they're not right, or when they find themselves pushed in the corner, they don't come out with guilt or insult. They don't do that. Not wives. Wives don't do that. So we're going to talk about tonight how to level set yourself so that you can look face to face in the mirror with yourself to find out if who you are today qualifies you to get the men that you say you want. Okay? We can all want what we want. And listen, I'll tell you this, ladies, I don't begrudge you for wanting what you say you want. No man is going to argue with you. No woman is going to argue with you about what you say you want. But what you say you want is only what you want. The next question is, do you qualify? Because what you want and the men that you say you want, they want something also. Now, do you care about what they want? Because that will determine whether you can actually get what you want, as opposed to what you say you want. Can you get it? And do you qualify? Let's get into it. We have this thing. The feminist movement has done this for you ladies. It's told you that you can have it all. Having it all means what? Having it all means you can have everything that you desire, but it never told you you had to qualify for the things you desire. You've heard me say in previous streams that when you go for a job interview, or if you go for the job of your desire, meaning this is the job you want, right? This is what you want. So you go for the job you want. And as you go for the job you want, you find out that the job that you want has a requirement. It's asking you to qualify for the position that you're asking for. Do you qualify? If you've gone to college, if you've gotten a degree of any kind that meets the requirements of the job description that you're seeking, then you go to the interview, right? You go to the interview. And what do you do before the interview? For those of you that are really smart about seeking a job that you desire, what do you do first? You start to investigate the company that you're going to work for. Because only a fool goes to an interview knowing nothing about the company. So what do? You investigate the company. You find out what the company does. What are their core values? What is it that they want? What is it that they're looking to see? What are they striving for in terms of a company? And then you want to present yourself as an asset, not a liability, in terms of what your experience, your background experience, and what it is that you bring to the what? Table of that company. Am I right? That's what you do. No one goes to a job unless they're a fool, goes to a job blindsided by what the job is asking for, nor do they go to a job looking to seek position, not caring about what the job is requiring of them as an employee, right? Why? Because you know, for you to get hired, you have to be an asset to the company, not a liability. Okay, hope is not a strategy. Let me say that again. Hope in and of itself is not a strategy. It requires work and realistic expectations, which will level set you for what you qualify for. And this in and of itself will further you in getting the outcomes that you say you want. Okay, we live in condos, some of us. We live in townhouses, some of us. We live in homes, some of us, right? Each one of these homes were built by blue-collar workers. You know, the men you don't want. These were built by those men. This is all about level setting yourself. It's all about level setting yourself. And coming face to face with exactly you qualify, with what you qualify for. You've heard me say in previous streams, the average income of a black man in this country makes between $41,000 to $42,500. That means $41,500 a year. That's an average black man. 85%. Okay, let's start talking about the ladies. The average black woman makes between $31,000 to $32,500, meaning $31,500 a year. Let's stop right there. If that's the average, I would love to know why the average woman wants the top 15, top 10, top 5, top 4, 3, 2, 1. Why is it that you want those men while you bypass the 85% that's right in your own community, that's living right next to you, right next door to you, right down the street from you, working at the same job you work at, making just a touch above what you may be making in terms of annual salary? Who sold you the story? Who sold you this story that you qualify? And have you ever paid enough attention to ask the critical question? What does the men who work and live in that 15%, that 10%, that 5%, 1% of income earners in the country, which are in short supply, especially as it relates to black men, who and what told you that you qualify for that? And here's more importantly, what do they want? What do they want, ladies? Do you believe that a top 15, 10, 5, 2, 1% money earner in the country, do you think he cares about what you have? No, he does not. He doesn't care what you have. He doesn't care what you've acquired. He doesn't care what you've purchased. He don't care about your hair. He don't care about your eyelashes. He don't care about your clothes. He don't care about anything that you materialistically have. He does not care. He really does not care. A man that's worth anything, if he's worth his own salt, he does not care about what you personally have as a female. He does not care what you have. I know society made you believe that. It made you believe that the house that you have. It made you believe that the kind of pocketbook you carry. It made you believe that the red bottoms that you wear, if you have red bottoms. It made you believe that the Birkin bag, if you can afford a Birkin bag. It made you believe that the Louis Vuitton bag, and it made you believe that the nails that you had done. It made you believe that all of the exterior cosmetic things that you have acquired, it made you believe that men actually cared about that. Wow. You've been deceived because men don't care. They don't care. They really don't. They don't care. Because what men care about, you can't buy it with money. You can't buy it with money. What men truly care about, you cannot purchase it from a department store. You cannot purchase it from some high-end department store. You can't purchase it online. You can't buy it. It has no price tag on it. It's either who you are or who you are not. Let me tell you what that thing is. What men want is fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, easy to get along with. Easy to get along with. They want a woman who gives them the experience of a lifetime. An experience that sets their mind and their spirit at ease. They're not argumentative. They don't overtalk their man. They don't overtalk their man. They don't spew out insults, meaning shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. And I'm talking about the insatiable need to be right. Ladies, some of you are so dedicated to being right that you'll surpass facts. You'll surpass data. You'll surpass statistics. You'll surpass the things that you can't even prove wrong, only to be right. By what? Being argumentative, by being combative, by going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Where does that get you? I'll tell you where it gets you. 85% of all black families, all black homes, all divorces are filed by black women. I'll tell you where it gets you. 85% of all engagements are called off by black women. I'll tell you where it gets you. It gets you alone with a dog. It gets you alone with cats. It'll get you alone because a man only wants one thing. He wants peace. That's all he wants. He wants peace. And I'm going to tell you something else, ladies, that you may not realize. A man will go down in looks to get peace. You don't have to look like Beyonce. You don't have to look like Kelly Rowland. You don't have to look like Cardi B. I'm just naming a few that I know you guys see in the media. Not that they're the finest thing on the world, but I notice who you see in the media. So I'm naming them just because they come right off the top of the head. You don't have to look like these individuals. You can look a whole lot less attractive than them, and men will select you if they can get peace. If they can get peace, if they can get femininity, and you can remove your masculinity, if they can get that, if they can get you to get on their program, if they can get you to care enough about what it is that they want to do with their life. Why? Because you want them in your life. Why wouldn't you be concerned about the man in your life and what he wants to do with his life? If it's positive, why wouldn't you want to get on that program, ladies? Why wouldn't you want to get on that program? Why? Society told you you are a woman, watch you roar, right? Oh, yeah. Society has told you, girl, get the bag, do your own thing. You ain't got to depend on no man. You know, yeah, but what has that gotten you? Where's that gotten you? Where's that gotten you, ladies? What is the danger zone? Shout out to Kevin Samuels. For those of you that don't like Kevin Samuels, did you listen to him when he was talking? But again, shout out to Kevin Samuels. But he talked about something called the danger zone. The danger zone was from 27 to 35. 27 to 35 is when you should be laser focused on getting the outcomes that you say you want. Let me show you what no man's land looks like. No man's land. Let me tell you what that looks like. That's from 36 to 60. From 36 years old to 60 is what's called no man's land. What does that mean? It means exactly what it said. No man. And you're in that land. Now what happens? Now what happens? And why did it happen? Why did it happen? Many of you ladies find yourselves between 36 and 60 alone and by yourselves. Why do you find yourselves alone and by yourselves? I know some of y'all triggered right now, but listen anyway. Because from 36 to 60, you find yourselves by yourselves because you have never, ever been able to listen to a man tell you anything, give you any kind of advice. Because like I said in previous streams going in the past, I've said that there's a low level of disrespect for men. Men become the problem for your bad decisions. Your bad decisions become the problem for your outcomes. You need to stop and look into the mirror and stop looking in the mirror fixing your hair. Stop looking in the mirror fixing your eyelashes. Stop looking in the mirror putting your makeup on and start looking in the mirror and identifying the broken pieces in that mirror that actually serve as a reflection of the broken pieces of your own life. All of us have to look into the same kind of mirror, but are you willing to look into the mirror yourself, ladies? Are you willing to look into that same mirror? Are you willing to look into it? Or are you willing to listen to the media? Are you willing to keep watching these series, these what do you call it? Reality shows, the reality series that come on TV. Are you willing to keep looking at these movies who talk to you and tell you lies while you get older and older and older and older, and you never come to terms with what you need to do personally to get your personal life in check so that you can get the outcomes that you say you want? Stop talking about you want better outcomes if you don't want to do the work. Stop it, man. Stop talking, ladies, about you want better outcomes when you don't want to do the work. But we're going to go there tonight. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. It has to come a point where you take accountability for your own behavior. Look at your own life, wherever that life is right now, and you ask yourself the critical question: what contribution did I make? What collective contribution did I make in the outcomes that I find myself in today? What collective contribution did I make as a woman to determine the outcomes that I find myself in right now? It can't be all men's fault, can it? Or do you face a responsibility for the outcomes that you find yourself in today? Our community is falling apart. Literally falling apart. 80% of all childbirths happen because the woman is not married. The sister is not married. It comes out of no child, no marriage. These children are being born without being to a married family. Ladies, 54% of all black men are childless and they are single. 80%, again, of all childbirths is out of wedlock. That leaves 20% of the men that are fathering 80% of the children that are born out of wedlock. That tells you there is a serious, serious problem. And it has more to do with you than it has to do with us as men. You can't stop subscribing to the lie. There are no good men out here. Most of them are in jail, or they're on the down low, or the things that cause you to remove yourself from accountability. Stop. Get rid of that. Just get rid of it. Get rid of it, because it's not doing our community any good whatsoever. It's going to take a special kind of woman, a very special kind, to hear these kind of talking points and say, you know what? I may not like the way he said that. I might not like the way he phrased that. I might not like his suit. I might like his tie. I might not like his shades. But do I understand what he said? Does it make sense? And do I apply to the talking points of what he said? We got to really stop being children when it comes to these kind of talking points. We really got to stop it, because our community is dying, not just in New Jersey, but not just in New York, but all 50 plus states where the black community is concerned. We are the lowest married, and we are the lowest as it relates to children being born in a family with a father and a mother that are married together, loving one another in a meaningful relationship. At what point do we get out of being stuck on stupid? At what point? I know you got your PhD, sister. I know you got your PhD. I know. So what? I know you got your BS. So what? I know you got your MS. So what? So what? Do you have a husband? Or are you just hooking up? Or are you just dating? Aren't you tired of dating and hooking up? Don't you want somebody to select you and put a ring on your finger and call you his wife? If you don't care, then fine. Like I've said in previous streams, get prepared for what's called compound living. Compound living means you and about 5 other sisters or 5 other ladies, you all move into a house, you move into an apartment, You get rooms where each of you have your own individual room, and you all sit down on the weekends when you don't have to work, and you break out a pizza and you watch Netflix and chill. If that's what you want, then do that. There's not a man on the planet that will fight you in that decision. But if you want more than that, you got work to do, man. You got work to do, ladies. If that's what you want, if you want more than that, there's something you have to do. And you ladies need to get to the point where you care about what a man wants. Not simply what you want. Care about what the men you say you want. And they don't care about your money. They don't care about your car. They don't care about your clothes. Again, they don't care about your hair. They don't care about your cupid eyelashes. They don't care. They don't care. And for some of you ladies got tattoos all over your body, you already knocked yourself down about 15 or 20% on getting the thing that you say you want. Because men that in the top 15, 10 and 5%, 2% of income earners, they already disqualified you just because of those tattoos. Ladies, men want a fit, a feminine, a friendly, a cooperative, a submissive, easy to get along with, pleasant experience. That's what men want. That's what men want. That's all we want. And it's not what you have. It's not what you've acquired financially. We don't care. We don't care. And I'm going to tell you this much. If you find a man that does care, run. Run. Because you know what you found? You found a bum. Oh yeah. You found a bum. You didn't find a real man. You found a bum. If a man cares about your income and he cares about what you've acquired, he cares about your credit rating, he cares about your credit cards, run. Run. And I mean run fast. See, because some of y'all, and I'm talking about some, not all, some of y'all experience has been with Pookie. Y'all experience has been with Nug Nug. Y'all experience has been with Tim Tim. Y'all experience has been with bums. And they've given you a whole lot of emotional distress. But a whole lot of sexual bliss. And you've traded off sexual bliss for being happy. But yet today, with bad decisions, you are the most unhappy in a first world culture. Ladies, getting level set and understanding where you are and knowing what you need to do and not just keep hope alive, doing what you need to do to qualify yourself for the thing you say you want is paramount in you getting the outcomes that you say you want. It's not going to happen just like that. I wish I could just snap my fingers and you can get exactly what you say you want, but I can't. It's going to take work. It's going to require work out of you. Many of you need to go get therapy, which is a stigma in the black community. Therapy? What? Therapy? Are you trying to say I'm crazy? No, I'm not trying to say you're crazy in the actual definition of the word crazy. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying you believe in a lot of crazy expectations and thinking that you can stay exactly the way you are, and you go from relationship to relationship thinking that you're going to get a different result, when every relationship you've gotten has not gotten you but the same relationship results. We get who we are. We attract who we are. We don't get what we want. We attract who we are. Now you got to ask yourself the question, what have I been attracting? If I've been attracting the wrong thing, what's wrong with me? That's a good question to ask yourself, because we get what we attract. Remember something. Don't give your body to no man unless you understand exactly what it is that you're looking for and what you expect and what you expect your outcomes to be. Because at the end of the day, if it's just sex, then don't complain about the outcome. If you just got hot and bothered, don't complain about the outcome. If you went into the situation without having any expectations that you didn't put before him at the beginning of the date, at the beginning of the introduction, don't complain about the outcomes. Again, like I've always said, men determine relationships and marriage. You determine access to your body and childbirth. If you just keep those two principles alive and well in your head, you'll make better decisions, ladies. If you determine sex, and if you determine childbirth, and he determines relationships, and he determines marriage, you will make a better decision going forward. And I hope I'm talking to somebody. You will make a better decision if you understand those two dynamics of which you do not control, ladies. You control two dynamics for yourself. Again, that's access to your body and access or decisions as it relates to childbirth. That is what you have the power over. Don't go out with a man that you're not sexually attracted to. Stop it. Because he can buy you a dinner. Stop it. Because you're thinking he can buy you something from the mall. Stop it. If you think this is not real, I've already talked to too many ladies. I know this is real. Stop it. If you're not sexually attracted to a man, don't go out on the first date with him in the first place. And if you don't intend to execute, or if you can't see yourself being sexually active with the man that you went out on the first date, don't go out with him on the third date without deciding that you're going to execute what you thought about in the second date. And I know some of y'all is thinking like, what? Yeah, I'm telling you that. You know why? Because let's keep it 100%. Dating is stupid. The only reason a man takes you on a date, it's not because he's hungry. Come on, ladies, you know better than that. You know if that man is hungry, he can buy his own food. Why is he dating you? Why is he calling you out to go on a dinner date? And more importantly, why is he doing it after 6:30 in the evening? Now you know, if he's calling you on a dinner date between 7:30 and 8 o'clock at night, he's not trying to talk about what your day was at work. He's trying to have dinner. What is he trying to do? He's trying to elicit your non-sexual, he's trying to give you his non-sexual attention for your sexual attention. We need to stop acting like we don't know what this is really all about and what's really going on. Every man knows that when he goes out on a date, that's exactly what he's looking for. In the short or long term, that's what he's looking for. Is anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. We are the opposite sex. God made us to be attracted to one another. And a man is visual. He likes what he sees. That's what determines his ability to be attracted to you sexually, based on how you carry yourself, based on how you smell, based on how your hair is made, based on how you talk and communicate. All of that tells him, gives him signals as to whether he wants to be with you physically. We need to really stop acting like we don't know what's going on. So ladies, stop wasting a man's time if you know you're not sexually attracted. I said this in a previous stream. Knock it off. Stop it. You're being a thief. Stop it. If you're not sexually attracted to him on the first time you see him, then don't do a second date. Don't do a first date, matter of fact. If you can't see yourself having sex with him on the second date, don't do a third date. And if you don't intend to fulfill what you thought about in the second date, don't even go on the third date. Why? Because again, I have to recap. A man is taking you out. He's spending his non-sexual attention, hoping for your sexual attention. I'm trying to get you level set so that you can ensure the outcomes that you say you want. So you can get out of this Disneyland, Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella, the princess found my glass slipper mentality. Get out of it. That's really not what life is all about. It's not real, and it leaves you at a disadvantage. And it also leaves you disappointed. It leaves you hurt at the outcomes that you get because you make bad decisions. And your bad decisions gives you a mental state of mind as it relates to all men. And all men are not like the outcomes or the decision that you've made. I'm going to say that again. All men do not reflect the outcomes, nor do they reflect the decisions that you made. They do not reflect that. You have to get your mind in a different place to where you understand exactly where you are. And for many of you sisters, you need therapy. You need therapy, yes. You need to get on somebody's couch so you can find out and talk from an objective standpoint and not from a subjective standpoint about the issues that affect you in terms of the decisions that you make that get you the outcomes you want. Because why? At the end of the day, you want to get to the end of life with someone who's significant in your life, not based on emotions, not based on your sexual urges, not based on what your broke, busted mentality girlfriend said. You want to get to a place, for those of you that want to be married, for those of you that want a husband, for those of you that really want to get to that place in your life where hot girl summer doesn't matter, where hot boy summer doesn't matter, where you can get to the end of life when your body is beginning to age and now being cute in the public doesn't matter anymore. That you have someone next to you by your side that can give you your medicine when you need it. Oh yeah. I'm talking about the times in your life that's actually really going to matter. I'm not talking about right now when it seems like you got time. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when it really matters. As you get up the ladder of life. And you hear me say this in every stream. Every stream, you hear me say this and you hear me push this point. Because it matters. And many of you have sold yourselves out to the media and to the television, into videos, into actresses, into entertainment artists, females. You've sold yourselves out to the mentality and to the talking points that they have sold you, that you don't have to worry about these things. Yeah. You know what? They don't have to worry about these things. But ladies, you do. You do. You do. You do. Getting level set. Getting level set could ensure, it could. Why do I say could? Because for some of you, you may not listen to what I'm saying. You may dismiss what I'm saying. That's why I say could. Getting level set could ensure the outcomes you say you want. Just make sure you got a clear understanding of what it is that you say you want, and that you're willing to level the playing field in favor of yourself to get the outcomes that you say you want. Otherwise, get prepared to die alone, and get prepared to be by yourself. I hope this helped some of you, and I know some of you are triggered beyond being triggered. You know, that's all right. Go back and watch the replay after you calm down. Go back and watch the replay after you calm down. You know. But for those of you that catch it while you're watching, you're putting yourself in a position to win. You're putting yourself in a position to win and to get the outcomes that you want. It's going to take you humbling yourself. It's going to take you getting outside of yourself and asking men, what do they want? What does a husband-minded man want from a wife? He that findeth a good thing He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Ask yourself the question, you've heard me say it, are you, ladies, are you a good thing? Let me say that again. He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Are you a good thing? Or has he found a mess? And that's why your outcomes are what they are. My name is Charles Chambliss. I'm the host of Let's Talk About It. And I want to see the outcomes that you ladies say you want. I want to see the outcomes that you tell yourself you want. But are you willing to do the work? I want to see us get the outcomes with you, because we want you, but it seems a lot of times that you don't want us. We are better together than we are apart. Again, my name is Charles Chambliss, and this is another episode of Let's Talk About It. Until next time, we are gone. Have a good night, folks. I look forward to seeing you Friday night, 8 o'clock.